Now for the Educated Retirement Show with your host, Jay Kaplan. Jay discusses reverse mortgages and can answer your questions at 951-922-3532. Call lines are open at 951-922-3532. And now here's Jay.
Yeah, here is Jay. And Jay would like to welcome you to the Educated Retirement Radio here on KMET 1490 AM, where we contemplate retirement and how to best prepare for retirement and how to best stay successfully retired. We have one of our best guests today in Dr. Wade Pfau, who really doesn't need much in the way of of any introduction, but please be with us on the second half hour at 4:30. Listen to me, time goes by fast enough anyway. On 3:30-ish, and right after a little break there. So remember to absolutely meet your retirement needs, top off your tank so you can make it all the way. And Wade Pfau is going to talk about that quite a bit as he gets into his newest book. This one right here, one of several books. In any case, remember that the future is now, because now is when we plan for that future. And why is that? Because knowledge is power, and our phone number is 866-955-2233, 866-955-2233, and there it is visually. And, of course, our website is also the same name as this show, which is theeducatedretirement.com. So www.theeducatedretirement.com, or for a little humor, we also have Dr. HECM that works also, drhecm.com, www.drhecm.com. And of course, HECM stands for Home Equity Conversion. So, the website is about everything having to do with retirement. A lot of it finance, a lot of it otherwise too. And we've got a lot of great articles there, lots of really wonderful blogs, including a lot of the scripts from this show, as far as looking up any of the nostalgia, things like that. And a lot of videos. So you know what? I have to change the name on that page to videos. So we'll have more of that in there. But speaking of other shows, because you can watch any other shows here from KMET on my website, just roll halfway down, and you'll see a link saying "Watch Live." But it doesn't have to be live. It can be shows in the recent past. It doesn't have to be just my show. It could be anyone's show. And also at the bottom of every single page on my website, there is a link to KMET. So speaking of KMET and other shows here, let's give our normal shout out to Let Grandpa Speak, whose show is here every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. And it is always, let me underline, always the best way to start your weekend with a good and happy mood. No matter what, he always is in a good and happy mood, and that is very contagious. And he was nominated for 5 Emmys. He won 3, and he's also a real master at barbecue ribs. But that's another story. And don't forget West Coast Business Review with Daryl McCants, who is a real master at eating barbecue ribs, not to mention everything else that gets within his reach. He is actually a repeat offender on this show from time to time, and he's on every Wednesday at 4 p.m., and they always give a plug for this show by saying that I am a part of his advisory board along with Bill Morris of UCI, who's also been a guest on this show. Bill Morris has done something like, I don't know, is it 3,000 or 30,000 sit-ups? Anything over 3 is too much for me, but he is the Guinness World Record holder on that. And of course, he did it to raise money for charity I believe a lot of that was Make-A-Wish. And don't forget Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show here on KMET Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. And I'm on his show every month again, usually every month, usually on a Thursday, because Thursdays are his old people's day, and I'm one of those old peoples. And let me wave to Jackie Ott, a person who started out as a client and has become a good friend. And anyway, we have that same old question, which we will definitely get to, but I like to keep asking it. And when does your loan become an asset? And when or what is my day job? Because, yeah, you guessed it, I better have one. I does work for the Loan Source, and my NMLS number is 384565, 384565. And Department of Real Estate number, although I do not sell real estate, I just like to keep on top of that, is 792630. And Dr. HECM Awards is, we're going to do those because this Sunday is the time for awards. We are talking the Academy Awards, which is hosted by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences to honor excellence in film, such as Best Picture, Best Director, Best Animated Feature, and there are 24 categories in all. I usually don't agree with much of what they do. I think a lot of it is political, a lot of it has to do with who made the most money, but regardless, it is a good show usually, and starting with the stars' fashion strut down red carpet. So does anybody want to see me strut down the red? No. It's been a tradition since 1929 when it was presented at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, which is pretty much right across the street from Hollywood and Highland, where the theater is, where they currently have those. So current times have been challenging for all of us, and we have a few of our own honors to give. So here are our Dr. HECM Awards for achievement in very few important, but very important categories. And we're rolling out the red carpet for outstanding accomplishments in motivation. And may I have the award, please? Where's your hand? We need to show a hand coming in there. Okay, outstanding, here it is. And the winner is Caregivers. There is the Price Waterhouse answer to that question. The award is for their steadfastness, dedication, kindness, and compassion. Caregivers take the struggle out of everyday routine, not an easy job. But we're talking about those caregivers that go to homes and take care of people as needed. There's basic food preparation, general health care, and emotional support. Congratulations to you all. And you know, we have representatives from some of those companies here on this show. So, next, the award for the most exceptional ensemble. And Dr. HECM Award. No, I need the hand in there. Come on now, come on. No, that's not going to work. Anyway. It's a shy hand. I didn't know it was going to be that shy. And it goes to the medical community. Which, yes, very good. Doctors, nurses, healthcare workers, in this case, those that work for doctors and or hospitals, etc. Hospital workers, even the lobby greeters. Thank you all for your ability to help us sometimes at the worst life moments. Doctors, we appreciate you for staying focused, respectful, and wise with sometimes a surprising sense of humor. I have at least 3 doctors that are some of the funniest people I know, and I'm very, very thankful for that. And for leadership and creative thinking. Where is that hand? No, I don't know. Okay. And here is the official answer. Oh, I can't. Oh, there we go. Teachers. especially the ones that I used to have. Our third Dr. HECM Award goes to teachers. We want to pay tribute to this thought-provoking and enthusiastic group that continues to prepare students for the world and are probably mostly underpaid. With the difficulties of changes in schoolroom format the last couple of years, teachers have been able to adapt and continue to cheer on the scholars. Now getting back to the world of films, we have a couple of notable quotes from films. Let's see if you know any of these. And of course, Sean, you can jump in and answer if you can. But name that film. We will. You talking to me? Taxi Driver. That's right.
Oh yeah.
What we've got here is a failure to communicate. Cool Hand Luke. Yeah, too late. Sorry. I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now. You got that right. Although that line is anyway. You're going to need a bigger boat. Well.
Jaws.
Jaws. That's right. You're going to need a bigger loan too. Yeah. I'll be back. I'll be back. You don't know it? Terminator, of course. Gentlemen, you can't. This is a great one, of course. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Dr. Strangelove.
Dr. Strangelove it is. And yo, Adrian. I didn't know that one, but.
Rocky.
Rocky. They call it a Royale with cheese.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. Show me the money. You can still do that if you want. No? Jerry Maguire. Yeah, and what I do is I show you the money for your retirement. Houston, we have a problem. Apollo 13, although I've read that was never a real line in life. And here's Johnny. No, not the TV show. Here's Johnny.
Oh, The Shining.
The Shining. And here, oh, they're here.
Poltergeist.
Yeah. And I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Although we all have.
Network.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am. Now, that's not my life. Well, maybe it is, but we're talking about something else here. Go. Anybody? On the waterfront. And may the force be with you. Of course. Star Wars, but if you have read or seen the really great production of Dune, you'll realize that most of the ideas that were in Star Wars, not only in Lord of the Rings, but were really in Dune. I see dead people.
Oh, The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, and I am Groot. I don't know how popular.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was pretty good. I thought the first sequence, though, was really great. And get off my plane. That's kind of a Schwarzenegger kind of line, but it wasn't. It is
Air Force One.
Air Force One, that is right. And today is also March the 25th, National Medal of Honor Day. So this holiday, established by Congress in 1990, recognizes all Medal of Honor recipients. The Medal of Honor is the highest military award for valor in the U.S. and it was created in 1861, which would have been around the time of the Civil War. Since its creation, over 3,000 Medal of Honors have been awarded. That's interesting to note, to the country's soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen. Ways you can acknowledge the holiday is to volunteer or donate to your local veteran organization, adopt a Medal of Honor gravesite, or attend any local events honoring the recipients. We also want to say thank you for your service to all men and women, whether they win an award or not. They win our award. Pecan Day. Pecan Day is today. It is not, please, I know what you're saying. Don't get it confused with National Pecan Day, which is in April. So today we salute the pecan tree that is the only naturally occurring major nut in North America. No, nut tree in North America. While they began in the U.S., they have since been planted on every continent except for Antarctica. I don't know what they're waiting for that. And even so, it is still estimated that 80% of the world's pecans come from the United States. In 1919, Texas had honored the pecan tree by making it its state tree, but Albany, Georgia is considered to be the pecan capital of the U.S., boasting over 600,000 pecan trees in that city. I guess good place to be homeless because you can always eat pecans no matter where you are, right? So what's the big deal over pecans? They are full of protein, healthy fats, and fiber that help with energy. They have important vitamins. Minerals like copper, zinc, and vitamin E are filled with antioxidants, plus they taste great. This crispy and crunchy nut can be used for pecan pies, which I never, until maybe just a few years ago, I always thought I would not like a pecan pie because I thought pies were supposed to be sweet. But boy, they are. A pecan pie is great. Candied pecans for desserts, cookies, breads. They can even be used for salads, snacks. Even pecans oil can be used for cooking. It's also Tolkien Reading Day, which is, again, today. This day was organized by the Tolkien Society in 2003 and encourages fans to celebrate and promote the life and works of J.R.R. Tolkien by reading their favorite passages. So who was Tolkien? I think we all know. John Rowland Tolkien was born in 1892 and earned his wings in 1973. An English writer and poet, best known as the author of the fantasy works Middle-earth. I believe he also invented the language for Middle-earth. In The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Oh, here's what he looks like, by the way. Very studious young fellow, he. All right. And, oh, here's another one, looking a little older. This is more like I imagine him. And a pipe instead of a cigar, but, you know, so be it. It happens. And Tolkien was also a painter and accompanied his stories with drawings and paintings, especially of landscapes and maps. So, though many other authors have published works of fantasy before Tolkien, the great achievement and acceptance of his books led directly to a popular comeback of the genre. More recent films based on his stories were directed by Peter Jackson, very successfully, of course, starting with Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, all started in 2001. So Jackson's films are regarded as some of the greatest and most influential films for a film series ever made, and is among the highest grossing film series of all time with close to $3 billion of receipts. Were we going to, and just real quick, you know, these are the longer versions. This is 2 out of the 3 of them. Thither is one set, and hither is another set, and I'll probably be getting the 4K. But you know what? I don't have a 4K player yet, but I am starting to amass some 4K
And soundtrack. You want
things.
to try to find the soundtrack.
Oh, and the soundtracks are, well, they're kind of incredible. They're like 3 or 4 records per, and they're several $100s each. So I'm hoping for a reissue on a cheaper scale. A few examples of Tolkien passages from Lord of the Rings. We are horribly afraid, but we are coming with you. And where there is life, there is hope and need of victuals. No kidding. Even the smallest person can change the course of the future. And deeds will not be less valiant because they are unpraised. And I think we have just a few minutes left. And correct me, Sean, we've got about 3.5 to 4 minutes of NASA Nelly. Is that okay? 3 minutes? Go ahead, run through it. There's the retro rockets. Have at it.
In March of 1997, the people of Phoenix, Arizona were looking up and watching something possibly unworldly. Over the skies of Arizona, Nevada, and even Mexico, there were a series of sightings that led to one of the most notable UFO events ever. In the evening between 7:30 and 10:30 on March 13th, thousands of people reported seeing strange bright lights in the night sky. There were many of these sightings in the same area for over a 12-hour period. First was a V-shaped object the size of a commercial plane, a boomerang-shaped object at least a mile wide and totally silent and so big it blocked out the stars. Another sighting, the series of stationary orange and red lights hanging over the valley. Some saw physical crafts, some claimed the lights themselves were the crafts. Interdimensional beings, secret military spacecraft, or, as the military claims, they were just flares. Many professional pilots abandoned the flare explanation. They know what flares look like, and these were not flares. Dr. Lynn Ketai saw the lights firsthand and shot plenty of photographs of them and said it turned her from a skeptic to a believer. She said it was a mile-wide formation of orbs turning into a V shape. She said flares could not keep a formation and hover over rock solid and in silence for hours. Then Governor Fife Symington, a skeptic, staged a spoof on the reaction of the event by holding a press conference with an aide dressed up as an alien for a joke, which most of the onlookers didn't like. After he and his own UFO sighting of the same lights, he announced an apology and that he now believed that they were of extraterrestrial origin. Actor Kurt Russell of over 60 films like Escape from New York was mentioned in last week's show as a birthday honorable mention. And now, here is the story behind his connection to the Phoenix Lights. This is how it was revealed that he was the pilot who first reported the Phoenix Lights. Russell, among many things, is also an FAA-licensed private pilot. He has owned multiple aircraft and sometimes clocking hundreds of flight hours per year. The story of Kurt behind the unidentified pilot who reported the phenomenon of the Phoenix Lights was revealed in an interview on BBC's program called The One Show. Kurt Russell and actor Chris Pratt were guests promoting their movie Guardians of the Galaxy 2. This is when he admitted that he was the unidentified pilot who first reported the event in 1997. He was flying his son to go see his girlfriend and saw 6 lights over the airport in an absolute uniform V shape. Kurt felt it was odd enough and important enough to call the report into the authorities. They were not flares. At the time of the sighting, he wasn't expecting any other planes and needed clarification. "I'm seeing 6 bright lights coming toward me," he said. He called to report it, eventually landed and flew back to LA, never to say a word about it until 2 years later. This is when his wife, Goldie Hawn, was watching a TV special about UFOs, including the incidents of the Phoenix Lights. He said that he likened that one moment to Richard Dreyfuss in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's when he realized that he was the pilot they were talking about in the special, and he even went back to his logbooks to confirm it. That story apparently hilariously blew Chris Pratt's mind during the interview. The Phoenix Lights has been of numerous documentation. Thank you. Over the years, investigated by many researchers, including MUFON, and as the inspiration to the film Phoenix Forgotten. Many of the witnesses will never forget.
Thank you, NASA Nelly, and I think we're running a minute or so a little bit late, so hang in there, and Dr. Wade Fowle will be back with us in just a few minutes. Thanks so much.